Hello there, you're now watching TVS News at 5 with me, Muhammad Yusuf. Let us begin with our top story. Sarawak Timber Industry Development Corporation, or STIDC, today signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with two wood import and manufacturing companies. Held in Melbourne, Australia, the MOU is expected to attract 120 million ringgit in investment receipts and generate annual earnings of 78 million ringgit.
The MOU signing between STIDC, Woodfields Glulam Manufacturing Sundaram Berhad, and Australia Stilling Timber Private Limited was witnessed by Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan. The collaboration serves to promote the use of engineered wood in housing and building constructions in Sarawak. It also plans to promote high-value added products from planted forest material in line with the state's post-COVID-19 development strategy 2030.
Soon, all households in Sarawak will be connected with a natural gas pipelines for cooking. Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hipni, said works will begin in rural areas to solve the issue of expensive gas prices in the area, and it would be completed within the next 7 to 8 years.
Hazlan said the natural gas connection will be supplied by Petros in line with their sustainability policy. He said while the retail price of gas cylinders is around 28 ringgit currently, the price would increase fourfold if sold in the rural areas due to transportation issues. Therefore, he said the price of the gas can be maintained with the pipe connections. He was speaking at a press conference after representing Premier Dato' Petinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg and the Sarawak Oil and Gas Services and Equipment OGSC Roadshow 2022 on Wednesday. Presently, only Miri has natural gas pipelines supplied to houses in the division, while gas pipes for households in Kuching, Sibu and Bintulu are planned in the near future.
The locations for 7 new border control posts for the General Operations Force, or GOF, in Sarawak will be finalized in the near future. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Ekril Sani Abdullah Sani said in order to reach a consensus on the location of the posts along the Kalimantan-Sarawak border, police had also obtained the views of Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg.
According to Ekril, the allocation to build the new border control post has also been approved by the government and it should be spent this year. He added that the post will also provide basic police services, such as a place to lodge police reports for residents living in the area. He was speaking to reporters after paying a courtesy call on the Premier of Sarawak at Wisma Bapak Malaysia today. Commenting further, Ekril said police were also in discussion with the Sarawak government to build border patrol roads to enable authorities such as the GOF to conduct patrols. Meanwhile, commenting on the strength of personnel in Sarawak, he said a new GOF battalion in Sri Aman would be open to reinforce membership and control in the state. The GOF battalion in Sri Aman is currently in its final stages and will bolster control in Sarawak once positions are filled.
Padawan Municipal Council, or MPP, is committed in the state government's call to be environmentally sustainable and reduce waste. Kota Sentosa Assemblyman Wilfred Yap said food outlet operators especially are told to reduce single-use food packaging and recycling their used cooking oil.
And these are some of the initiatives taken by the council. So this one is asking people to stop using styrofoam food containers. Hentikan penggunaan bekas makanan polystyrene. So I think the polystyrene, you people know, right? The white colored one. Because that one is a very environmentally damaging. Okay, so, and then another one is this used cooking oil. So, minyak masak terpakai. So, apa yang mereka selalu buat, minyak masak terpakai, it goes into the drain. So, we are trying to ask people to actually recycle it and make our environment more sustainable, more environmentally friendly.
He said such initiatives are in line with the state government's green economy approach.
And this is also in line with what our Premier has said, right? Our Premier talks about a green economy. Our Premier talks about sustainable development goals. Okay, so when you talk about sustainable development goals, these are minor steps, these are micro steps taken by the individual councils to actually complement the bigger picture, the macro picture.
Welcome back. Now, the Malaysian Cocoa Board, or LKM, is currently in the midst of digitalizing its operations. Deputy Minister of Plantation Industry and Commodity, Dato' Willy Mongin, said though the transition is met with several hurdles, the transformation will bring about many value-added products to compete in the global market.
Fokus SKKM ini adalah kali ini agak berbeza dan sesuai dengan peralihan masa, kemajuan teknologi dan juga perbezaan kehendak dan persepsi pengguna, pihak kementerian dan lembaga Cocoa Malaysia tidak terkecuali dalam mengharungi desakan pasar perubahan dan juga transformasi dalam mengharungi ke arah digital dan inovasi selaras dengan tren global dalam penyampaian perkhidmatan kepada rakyat jelata.
In terms of workflow, Willie stated it will be utilizing a tech-enabled system to catalyze digital acceptance among staff.
Tumpuan dan corak kerja kita yang berpaksikan teknologi digital dan tech-enabled akan dapat mempercepatkan penerima gunaan digital ini, sekaligus mewujudkan integrasi ekosistem digital dalam membentuk pelbagai nilai tambah dan model perniagaan terbaru ke arah mencetus pertumbuhan ekonomi digital yang lebih rancak dan inovatif dalam industri koko negara kita.
He spoke during the launching ceremony of the National Cocoa Seminar 2022 in Kota Kinabalu on Wednesday.
Now, Singapore has confirmed its first case of monkeypox and the first cases reported in the region. Singapore Health Ministry said on Tuesday that the case is an imported case who tested positive on June 20th. Similarly, South Korea reported its first 2 suspected cases of monkeypox virus in the country on Wednesday.
The patient is a 42-year-old British man who works as a flight attendant and had flown in and out of Singapore around mid-June. He is reported to be in stable condition and currently warded at the National Centre for Infectious Diseases in Singapore. 13 close contacts of the man were identified as of Tuesday, and all will be placed under quarantine for 21 days since their last contact with him. Contact tracing is ongoing for affected flights and for the duration of the man's stay in Singapore. The last monkeypox case detected in Singapore was 3 years ago. Meanwhile, South Korea is conducting diagnostic tests after the first 2 suspected cases of monkeypox were detected in the country on Wednesday. One of the people with suspected monkeypox, a foreign national who had reportedly shown potential symptoms since Sunday, entered the country on Monday and is currently under treatment in an isolation ward at a hospital in Busan. The other, a Korean citizen who showed symptoms while entering the country from Germany on Tuesday afternoon, has been admitted to Incheon Medical Center for treatment. More than 35 countries where monkeypox is not endemic have reported outbreaks of the viral disease, and confirmed cases now exceed 2,500.
Lebanon, Syria, and Egypt on Tuesday, June 21st, agreed to ship 650 million cubic meters of natural gas per year from Egypt to Lebanon via Syria, part of a US-backed effort to address Lebanon's crippling blackouts with electricity and gas transfers. The deal, signed at a ceremony at the Lebanese Energy Ministry in Beirut, would see gas piped to Lebanon's northern Deir Armor power plant, where it could add some 450 megawatts or around 4 extra hours of power per day to the grid.
يأتي هذا اليوم إذن تتويجا لعمل دؤوب بدأ قبل 9 أشهر، وما كان ليصل إلى مرحلة الإنجاز هذه لولا العمل الجاد الذي قامت به فرق العمل في البلدان الثلاثة، ما جعله نموذجا يحتذى به للتعاون العربي بكافة أشكاله.
It still requires the approval of the World Bank, which has pledged financing, and the United States for compliance with its Syria sanctions regime, Fayyad further stated. Though the financial terms were not disclosed, the chairman of the Egyptian natural gas holding, Mehdi Galal, stated that they would offer an appropriate and preferential price.
احنا جاهزين في اي وقت مجرد ما الاجراءات اللي معالي الوزير قال عليها تنتهي، احنا جاهزين ان احنا نضخ الغاز من بكره يعني.
Lebanon's state-run power company produces just a couple of hours of power per day, forcing many to pay for expensive private generator subscriptions. To ease the power crunch, a plan was floated last year for Lebanon to receive electricity from Jordan and natural gas from Egypt, both via Syria, which will add up to 700 megawatts to Lebanon's grid.
نأمل اليوم أن تكون كل العقبات قد ذللت من أجل تأمين التمويل من البنك الدولي، كما نتطلع للحصول على الضمانات النهائية من الولايات المتحدة خصوصا لما يتصل بالعقوبات، ولذلك سيكون دعم الولايات المتحدة والأسرة الدولية جوهريا لتأمين المتطلبات الباقية من أجل تنفيذ هذا المشروع.
When asked by the press when the gas could start flowing, Fayyad said as soon as the World Bank approved the financing, then they are good to go. He added that Lebanon was also seeking Washington's all clear on sanctions. There was no immediate comment from the US Embassy or the World Bank office in Lebanon.
That's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. Join Lorenzo Isaac tonight on TVS Nightline at 11:30 p.m. Once again, I'm Muhammad Yusuf. Good day.